Okay guys, welcome to my mixing video. This is going to be the first video, but not part of the 40 days of pours. This is just to help you guys get started if you guys want to join me for this 40-day challenge. I don't know if you do, but I think it will be fun. So what I'm going to be using is Grass Green by Master's Touch. And what I like to do is I like to put it in a measuring cup so that I can see exactly how much paint I have, so I know exactly how much Floetrol to use. Because I like to use 3 parts paint to 5 parts Floetrol, and it's easier to say that, but it's hard to, like, when you actually go to do it, it gets really confusing because you're like, wait, what? So when I have lines that I can work with, I can see, oh, okay, there's 3 lines that this paint fills to, so I know that I need 5 more of that line for the Floetrol. So basically, whenever I do a whole tube of paint, it usually comes out to be about 8 ounces or 1 cup, so a half pint. And so to me, I just have the first line just be invisible, and then it's 1-2 lines from there. So then 3 more or 5 more lines from that is just gonna put me at 2 cups and 1/3, which I think actually might be 4, but that works for me. And that's just how I do it. If you don't want to do it in such big increments, a lot of people can just do it by feel. You can tell how much Floetrol you're gonna need, or whatever medium you choose to use. There's other mediums you can use, like PVA glue. You want to use, it has to be like glue all. So don't use like Elmer's school glue. I mean, it works, but it does dilute your colors more than PVA would, and I heard that it tends to yellow. So I think that's the biggest turnoff of the glue, is the yellowing. But I like using Floetrol ever since I started using it. I actually did a video, if you want to look that up, of Floetrol versus glue, so you can see just the side-by-side comparisons of how glue works with mixing your paints, and how Floetrol does, and how it affects when it actually starts getting stretched, which colors keep their vibrancy and which don't. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this up. And then I use a spatula because it's super easy to actually like scrape the sides and get everything integrated, and then scrape the bottom. And then when I'm getting it into the cups, it's super easy to scrape it and get every last bit of paint, which is super important if you're trying to be a penny pincher like I am. So then you're just gonna mix the paint thoroughly in with the Floetrol before you add any water to it. Okay, and once you get your paint thoroughly mixed, what I like to do, which is super nice with the spatula, is I just scrape the sides so I can see exactly what level my paint is at, and then I add water to the next line, and then I just do that until I get to the consistency that I like. Every paint is going to be different, so different colors are going to have different consistencies, so you're not going to need as much water with each paint. So the kind of texture you're going for is a warm honey, where you want something that flows but doesn't move too quickly or too slowly. Alright, once you get to the consistency that you like, then you can go ahead and store your paint. I know a lot of people like to add like treadmill oil, silicone oil, coconut oil, additives to get cells, but that's something that you should always add before you pour. So because I'm putting these in bottles, what I would do is, before I start a pour, I would pour some of this from a bottle into a cup and then put the oil in there and mix it in a little bit, so that way it doesn't make that one color always have the silicone or additives, because sometimes I don't like getting cells. I like a more linear painting. So I don't always add silicone.